Hi everyone, so today I'll be talking about the Nika artery ET-4C Mengyuan carbon version. So if you are lazy to watch the whole video, the quick summary is that I think the bow has more hand shock than I would like. So anyway, I'm gonna show you everything and let you judge for yourself. Okay, so let's begin with the box. Now, when I received it last year, it looks like this. Okay, the box, well, at least kind of looked pretty good, right? Very high class. But on the latest shipment, actually, I got it like this. So there is definitely a cost cutting here. Okay, the box is no longer as cool. Of course, I'm not going to deduct any point just because of packaging, because when you use the bowl, pretty much the box you throw away and you will never see it again. So I'm not going to judge based on the box, but just informing you that you see, I'm putting here the same, but you see the height difference. So this is most likely to save shipping costs, because when you ship bowls, like parcels, once you pass certain size, there's going to be an upcharge. I believe what they're trying to do here is to cut that minimal length there to save a bit on the shipping cost, as well as overall the box cost. Okay, so when you receive your box, what do you get? Well, I actually repacked the bowl that didn't work just to show you. So this is how it looks like inside. You get your limbs, the two limbs, in this rather fancy sleeve. You also get the string, and then, oops, so the leather wrap along with the string to tie it, and then this is a centerpiece that go in between the bow. So this is the older version. On the newer version, this is entirely black without these holes. Okay, without these holes. So it's going to be entirely black, but pretty much the same thing. Now, well, there's one last piece here. Well, this is it says warning, but you know, we are archers, so we never read any warning. Nah, just kidding. So one side is in Chinese, the other is in English. Basically, these are just some safety warnings. Even the translation is actually wrong, but what it's trying to say is don't dry fire the bow, don't point at people. The bow is a weapon, so follow safety recommendation. Should children use them, they should be under adult supervision. That's pretty much all. So after that, we just throw away and never see them ever again. Okay, so let's look at the sleeve. Now the sleeve is actually pretty nice. Let me show you. Okay, and then there's a Velcro opening here, and you take the limb out like this. Okay, there's a hole here. This is where you fit. There you go. That centerpiece. Okay, the centerpiece drops in there. So assembly is actually pretty straightforward, no brainer. Okay, so once you assemble the bow, the first thing you notice is the gap. It won't close tight. There's gonna be a gap. Okay, to me this is actually a poor design. They say it's a feature, but whatever. Okay, whatever. You just have to know that it won't close tight no matter how strong you are. Even if you're the Hulk, it's not gonna close. There's going to be a logo up here. It says Nika Archery. On the back of it, there's this funny print. I don't even know what the hell this is. Okay. If you want to see every part of it, okay, let me show you. Okay, this is how it looks like. There's the carbon weave pattern on it. This part here is a bit bulgy. I don't think it looks good. It looks a bit ugly compared to the original. Okay, the limb, pretty plain. A funny curve here. I don't really like this part. And the other side is the same. It also used to be on this side there is some printing. You can see some words there indicating the limbs, whether it's top or bottom, some serial number or whatever, I don't know, and the poundage. But as I said, this is actually the non-working unit, so I'm going to put it away. Now they sent me a working unit, and there is a little, very tiny change, which is the label. Oh, I covered with leather so you can't see anyway. So the way they label it is a little bit different. Other than that, the tip look identical. I don't see any change at all. The sear, the weave, the bulge, limbs, this part, I see no difference from the previous version. Only thing is, if you see in here, you don't see the white thingy anymore, right? So it's black now. Other than that, it's the same bow. Okay, it is entirely the same bow. There's no other difference. So I guess the only thing they really change is maybe make sure that the limbs pair well before they ship it. I guess that's the only thing they did. Other than that, I really do not see any difference between this and the previous version. Okay, once you have assembled it, you string the bow up, and when I tested, my first few shots was actually not good. The hand shot was bad, very bad. Like getting hit by a hammer. That's how bad it is. So after just 3 shots, I just didn't touch the bow for a few days because it hurts. And then I thought, okay, you know, I have to try to get the hand shock down to somewhat more tolerable level. So what can I do? Well, first thing is I really try to jam this as tight as possible so that there's no movement anymore. And then, because when I first tested, I tested without the leather, because it takes time to install the leather. So if you were to shoot without the leather, directly holding the bow, the shock is high. So I thought, okay, you know, at least I should put the leather on. The leather is going to absorb some of the shock. It should be better. So when I'm installing that leather, I realized that, well, I shouldn't say realized, but I have always known that, you know, based on older Elong, that the leather is gonna move all over the place. You have to glue it down because this is so slippery. This is super slippery. You try to tie it on, it's gonna just move all over the place. You have to glue it on. So if I glue it on, like what I did right now, okay, I glued the leather and then I stitch it up. Well, then I can't take this apart, so it's no longer take down. Which means this beautiful sleeve here, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it. Now I'm gonna have like 2 pieces of trash. Not very cool. So I thought, okay, you know, in case if you want to use that sword, you want to take it apart, my suggestion is when you do this leather, you cut it. Okay, you cut the leather and glue the 2 halves, the leather on the 2 halves separately. So you're gonna have a shorter piece of leather here and a shorter piece of leather here. They are independent, and then you stitch them independently. That way, at least you can take it apart and use that bow saw. Otherwise, then you have 2 pieces of extra trash, like what I have right now. Because I can't take this apart unless I cut this. But then, if I cut this, then the stitch is gonna come apart. I have to like redo it. Okay, so after fixing the leather on, I also give it some twist on the string, try to give more brace height to it, also heat up the string so that it will stretch, so that, you know, right now it's nice and round. By reducing the stretchiness, it can cut down the hand shock. So after all that is done, I shoot the bow again, and I think the hand shock has dropped quite a lot. Like before this I said it was painful, like 3 shots and I'm not willing to shoot it anymore because it's really painful. But after the break-in phase, right, tightening, and then the leather, I think the leather did a lot of shock reduction. So you probably don't want to shoot the bow without the leather. You definitely want something wrapped on it to protect your hand. And also stretching the string. The shock, well, there is still some hand shock, but I think it is more tolerable. So at least I can shoot the bow. Okay, I can shoot the bow. Yes, I do feel the hand shock. I do feel the jolt. The moment you release that jolt that kicks back, you can still feel it. But I would say it's okay. I wouldn't use it for a very long period of time, but it is bearable. Okay, so it is like marginally acceptable. Not to the point where I would just dump it away. So it is usable, but I don't like it. Okay, usable, but I don't like it. So I happen to have just the same poundage. I actually just tested it just now. The poundage of both of these bow are the same. This one here, it is actually labeled when sent to me to be 26 pounds at 28 inch. I actually measured just now from the back, 28 inch, I got 28 pounds. So the poundage is not as described from the manufacturer. Okay, they say it's 26. It's also labeled 26. I received it, I tested, it's 28 pounds. This bow happens to also be 28 pounds under the exact same way of measurement. So I compared their smoothness. This one registers 7.7% per inch. Basically, it's the percent of the poundage increase per inch past 28 inch. Okay, 7.7. This one is 9.5. So that means this bow does actually stack more. Okay, it increased more steeply. This one increased less steeply. Okay, this is a smoother bow. This is not as smooth of a bow. I didn't compare the speed. Okay, so in terms of hand shot, when I shoot these two, this one feels like a very light tap because you see both of them are the same poundage. I'm going to pull them the same draw length and shoot with the same arrow. This one, it feels like this kind of I mean the hand shot is like a light tap like that. So sometimes you don't really feel it at all because it's very light. Wow, this one, it feels like it's a really hard hit. Bearable, but not nice. Okay, not nice. So I actually give Elong some feedback on this product here. I think the main issue is that there is just too much mass here. This Sia here is way too heavy. So in case you do not know, carbon is about like 2.5 times the density of wood, most wood that is used in archery, and also bamboo. So having so much, whether it's carbon or glass, okay, is a lot of mass on the tip. If they want to make this a better bow, they really need to cut the mass on this thing. There's so much unnecessary mass out here. Whereas this one is too thin, there's really too much pressure on this knock here. Okay, I'm worried the string might have some issue. I do not know whether it's going to cause any problem, but I think there's too much pressure here. Ideally, reduce the mass here, increase the width here to reduce the pressure on the string. Also, it's actually very narrow here. It's slim enough here, but the problem is, look at this is so fat. Okay, reduce that weight, especially here. This this part here is super chunky, reduce that mass. If they do that, the hand shot would come down, it will increase the speed as well. They will make a better bow if they do that, so that's my recommendation to them. This is way too chunky, too heavy. Also, I don't like the gap. Could have been made better. The way they design this leather wrap, we have to cut it ourselves. So for most people who never thought about cutting it and just put it on and straight away glue it, you will end up with 2 pieces of trash, okay, that we can never use back again. So that's just some of the things that I would like to let you know, that this product I think is not very well thought out, could be improved. Anything else? Would I recommend this bow? If you like a Mongol bow and your budget is right, because this one currently retails for almost $190 on their website. I'm not sure if they include shipping. If this is the style of bow, you want a Mongol bow, then I guess it's okay, because the bow is at least usable after the break-in phase. It is quite twist resistant, okay. So bow in terms of usability is okay, it's actually okay. But I personally would not pick it because there are better alternatives. That's what I'm saying. Given the choice that I have at the moment, I would not pick this bow.